don't recall authorizing a tactical drill. Well, it wouldn't be much of a drill if everybody knew about it, sir.
Star Trek: The Next Generation. The series that gave us an intergalactic playground filled with complex characters, mind-bending episodes, and, of course, the iconic starship Enterprise-D. For many Trekkies, the Enterprise feels as familiar as a second home. We know every corridor, every workstation, and, most importantly, the main bridge where Captain Picard ruminates in his signature "make it so" tone. But wait, there's more to this starship than the galactic command hub we've come to adore. Tucked away and rarely seen by fans is the Enterprise's second bridge, quaintly known as the Battle Bridge. This isn't just a plot device for dramatic effect. This hidden command center serves specialized purposes during high-stakes scenarios, like intense battles and emergencies that could escalate faster than you can say warp speed. So, why does this secondary bridge exist, and what are its hidden functions? Sit tight as we unravel the mystery behind this enigmatic part of the Enterprise that even devoted fans might not fully appreciate. Primary bridge versus second bridge. When you hear the bridge in Star Trek: The Next Generation, your mind probably jumps to that iconic, panel-filled command center where Captain Jean-Luc Picard delivers his legendary orders. This primary bridge, located right at the top and front of the saucer section, is the nerve center of the USS Enterprise-D. It's polished, spacious, and has an air of authoritative elegance about it, just like a well-tailored Starfleet uniform. Here, crucial decisions are made, from negotiating peace treaties to exploring strange new worlds. However, that prime location, quite literally sitting on top of the ship, brings with it some glaring vulnerabilities. Imagine getting hit by a photon torpedo when lounging with a cup of Earl Grey, and suddenly that magnificent view of the stars isn't as charming. Enter the often overlooked, mysterious, and rarely seen second command center, the Battle Bridge. Its very name hints at its primary function, handling situations when things get dicey. But why don't we see it more often? Well, it serves as a sort of emergency bunker. Lower down in the more armored stardrive section of the ship, it's designed for enhanced protection. It's the go-to spot during high-stake combat scenarios, especially when the saucer section, where the primary bridge is located, and stardrive section, where the battle bridge is found, need to operate independently. The battle bridge isn't just a backup, it's a tactical upgrade. It's constructed for resilience, with fewer panoramic windows, because who needs a stellar view when you're dodging disruptor fire? The setup feels more utilitarian, packed with fortified systems and strategic displays. In theory, if a confrontation gets too intense and the saucer separates, Captain Picard and his crucial officers would hunker down here, strategically managing warfare away from the delicate parts of the ship. It's like moving from the penthouse to the panic room. Not as flashy, but certainly more secure when the phasers start blasting. Despite its crucial role, the Battle Bridge makes only fleeting appearances in the series. Each time it does, it underscores the gritty realism of space danger in the Star Trek universe. While the primary bridge is all about poise and visibility, the Battle Bridge is prepared for the darker side of spacefaring, proving that sometimes the best strategy is to have a hidden ace in your deck, or, in this case, a backup bridge in your starship. Functions of the second bridge. Protected command center. When the stakes were astronomical, pun intended, and the phasers started flying, the Enterprise-D crew often turned to the hidden gem of their starship, the Battle Bridge. Unlike the primary bridge, with its spectacular yet exposed panoramic view from Deck 1, the Battle Bridge resides snugly on Deck 8, wrapped in layers of additional protective hull. Think of it as the ship's equivalent of a panic room, but with warp capabilities and photon torpedoes. In high-risk scenarios, the decision to migrate key personnel to the Battle Bridge was akin to sending them to a fortified bunker. Imagine commanding a space skirmish from behind a bulletproof glass while sipping your favorite Earl Grey tea. Relaxing, it's not. The enclosed utilitarian design of the battle bridge strayed far from the luxuriously open layout of its Deck 1 counterpart. Here, functionality took precedence over form, a necessity when you're up against Romulans or the relentless Borg. The process of relocating to the battle bridge wasn't casual, like switching rooms at a hotel. It involved a calculated procedure, often triggered during ship separation maneuvers. The ship's saucer section, which houses the civilian population, would detach, leaving the more combat-ready stardrive section commanded from the battle bridge. This shift wasn't just about reallocating their geographical presence. It was a strategic pivot to ensure the safety and resilience of command operations. This transition also meant moving critical decision-makers away from the most targeted spot on the ship. By having this second sanctuary, the Enterprise could sustain hits from adversaries without jeopardizing the chain of command. An unscathed captain means a still effective ship. And in the boundless frontiers of space, that distinction can affect the survival of the entire vessel. In essence, the second bridge wasn't just a backup or an afterthought. It was the ultimate insurance policy, ensuring that the show could go on even when the main stage faced ruin. Who knew such a quiet corner of Deck 8 held the keys to the galaxy's fate? Instances of second bridge use. While the grandeur of the primary bridge captivates most of our attention in the USS Enterprise-D, the battle bridge slips into screen time only when the plot thickens with high stakes and imminent peril. Think of it as the starship's secret weapon, an ace up Picard's sleeve for when the cosmos throws a curveball. Here are a few pivotal moments where this undercover bridge made its mark. Encounter at Farpoint. This two-part series pilot didn't just introduce us to new faces and fresh interstellar challenges. It also gave us our first peek at the battle bridge. When the Enterprise separates into the saucer and stardrive sections, an action that screams drama, the command team shifts to the battle bridge. The episode showed us the importance of having this secondary command center when the main bridge is left behind with the saucer section, setting the stage for what's to come. The best of both worlds. If there's one episode that put the battle bridge to good use, it's this iconic two-parter. Facing the ominous Borg threat, Captain Picard, or should I say Locatus, and crew knew they had to go for their A-game. The Enterprise, once again separated into its sections, used the battle bridge to fight off the existential risk posed by the Borg. This episode remains a fan favorite, not just for its cliffhanger, but also for showcasing the ship's versatility and strategic depth. Arsenal of Freedom. In this episode, the Enterprise-D encounters a planet with lethal automated weaponry. When the ship encounters severe conflict and potential damage, the crew on the saucer section has no choice but to man the stardrive section's battle bridge. This transition offers a stark reminder. Exploring strange new worlds sometimes means preparing for a showdown with unforeseen dangers. Each appearance of the battle bridge infuses the series with a surge of tactical realism. It reminds fans and foes alike that the Enterprise-D is not just about diplomacy and exploration. It's also fully equipped for warfare when necessary. By delving into these episodes, it becomes clear how this strategic command hub played a vital role in the narrative's more intense, action-packed arcs, adding layers of complexity and excitement to the legendary starship's adventures. Design and purpose comparison. All right, Trekkies, let's dive into what makes the Enterprise's two bridges both distinct and equally fascinating. If you've ever wondered why Starfleet decided to sprinkle a bit of redundancy into the mix, you're in for a treat. Bridge aesthetics. First things first, let's talk aesthetics. The main bridge is all about that sleek, futuristic look we've come to associate with the Enterprise-D. Picture yourself in those plush, ergonomic seats, surrounded by expansive, user-friendly interfaces designed for crew efficiency and maximum comfort. It's like the Apple Store of the 24th century, minimalistic yet sophisticated, with a touch of Apple Store panache. Now switch gears to the battle bridge, and it's like stepping into a different world. This space isn't about comfort, it's about durability and practicality. The design is more militaristic, with bulkier, more durable consoles and a layout that screams defensive readiness. Think of it as the Enterprise's underground bunker, the reinforced fortress ready to go toe-to-toe with any threat. The aesthetic here is utilitarian, designed for function over form, giving it a rugged, almost gritty vibe compared to the main bridge's sleek, everyday look. Functionality and operational needs. The differences in design serve a very specific purpose. They cater to entirely different operational scenarios. On a typical day, the main bridge is the nerve center of exploration and diplomacy. It's where Captain Picard sips his tea Earl Grey hot and makes first contact with new civilizations. The layout is open, making communication between officers seamless and cooperation a breeze. When things get dicey, think Borg cubes or Romulan warbirds. The battle bridge takes center stage. Located deep within the starship, it's all about surviving and maintaining command under fire. Here, the tougher materials and more compact layout reduce the risk of critical failures from battle damage. The consoles are designed to be more accessible in chaotic situations where every second counts. To put it simply, the main bridge is where the magic of peace and exploration happen, while the battle bridge is the fortress where tough decisions are made in the heat of battle. Each space, with its unique design and functionality, represents the dual nature of Starfleet's mission: to seek out new life and new civilizations, but also to protect and defend against the unknown. In essence, these two bridges showcase the Enterprise's versatility, a starship ever ready for the vast unknown and anything it might throw their way. Fan reactions and discussions. Fan speculation. The Star Trek fan base. A passionate collective that loves to scrutinize every detail of the beloved series. When the battle bridge was introduced, the reaction was naturally one of intrigue and endless speculation. Message boards and fan conventions buzzed with questions like, why isn't the battle bridge used more often? And is it really safer or just a plot device? Reactions and theories. The fans didn't hold back their theories. Some speculated that the second bridge was an insurance policy against plot holes, a way for writers to cleverly sidestep the bridge goes boom trope. Others debated over the practicalities. If the battle bridge provided better protection, why not just use it all the time? There were even light-hearted theories suggesting the battle bridge was a backup lounge for the crew, a place to kick back when things got too intense on the main bridge. Fan debates. Let's not forget the heated debates that raged on discussion forums. Some fans argued that the battle bridge's sporadic appearances were a missed opportunity for deeper storytelling. We could have seen more tactical maneuvers and smart leadership if the second bridge had been used more frequently, they cried. Defenders of Starfleet's tactical choices shot back that frequent relocations would undermine the dramatic tension that the main bridge provided. After all, that's where the captain's chair sits and where the drama unfolds. Practicality and utilization. Fan consensus is as elusive as a cloaked Romulan warbird, but one thing is clear. The concept of the battle bridge remains a fascinating point of discussion, even decades after Star Trek: The Next Generation aired. Whether it's lauded as a brilliant strategic move or criticized as an underutilized plot device, the second bridge stands as a testament to the creativity and depth of Star Trek's world building. After all, fans will continue to pick apart these details with all the enthusiasm of a Vulcan at a logic festival. Synthesis and conclusion. It's clear that the inclusion of the second bridge, specifically known as the battle bridge, adds a layer of strategic complexity and depth to the narrative world of Star Trek: The Next Generation. However, as with any sprawling franchise, inconsistencies inevitably arise, sparking lively discussions among the fan base. One of the most frequently debated points is the perceived reluctance to evacuate main bridge officers to the safer battle bridge, even during high-stakes scenarios. This decision often seems at odds with the logical, safety-conscious ethos of Starfleet. leading some to speculate that considerations for dramatic tension on screen sometimes overrode practical, in-universe decision-making. Fans have noted various episodes where the main bridge's central location and visibility on the ship made the crew susceptible to enemy attacks. Yet, these high-risk moments typically overshadow the tactical shift to the more fortified battle bridge, despite its strategic advantages. This might be seen as an oversight, or perhaps it serves as a testament to the storytelling choices prioritizing suspense and engagement over strict tactical adherence. Ultimately, the presence of the battle bridge remains a fascinating element of Star Trek. TNG lore embodying both the practical foresight and occasional narrative quandaries that make the series a beloved and enduring fixture in science fiction. While it might not have seen as much screen time, the second bridge symbolizes the Enterprise's multifaceted design, ready for both exploratory missions and the unexpected dangers of deep space. Whether rooted in the show's tactical realism or its dramatic flourishes, the dual bridge setup epitomizes the complexities and contradictions that continue to captivate and fuel vibrant discussions among Trekkies everywhere.